It is the RIOT. Oh, no. Okay.
What?
Nope, got it.
Is it
got
good?
It. Well, we've been having some beach ball problems here.
Over on someone's laptop?
You don't want to mess with the beach ball. Actually, you know what? Complete side note. I just feel like, I don't know what has happened to my Mac, but I feel like somebody reached in and was like, we'll just slow it down for you.
Do you need to
get an upgrade?
Reformat?
You want to put it? No.
Do you need to clean it up, or what do you need to do?
No, like, what if...
You want a new one?
Oh, yeah.
I know someone who will be leaving there soon, and it will need a home.
Is that true?
I do, yeah.
I know.
But I don't know if it's any newer than yours. I'm not sure of the dates.
Okay. Well, if
Do
it's
you want a MacBook Pro? I know someone also leaving that one.
Yeah, but I can't afford that. I can't.
It's also a lot heavier to carry around.
I don't have used MacBook Pro kind of money. No. Though it sounds great. Hey, here's what's happening in today's podcast. We've got a race car bed.
Not just a race car. It's not about the race car bed.
But it's
something that Obi was looking at, and then they thought he might be a child. So
yeah. I'm not like totally bothered by it, and yet like a little.
So you'll learn about it.
A little. We also talk about actually, and when I really run down this list, it's like, what's wrong with him? We talk about I'm beginning to develop a high five problem. What we see at the gym, Veggie McNuggets.
Yeah.
Nikki's hurtful mouth syndrome. A sodaless probation.
You didn't title it that, did you? Because it wasn't about me. It was about you.
I titled it Sleeping Beauty Syndrome and Hurtful Mouth Syndrome.
So it's got both in there.
Mm-hmm. Sekiro, beer spas, DQ chicken. Stuff like that.
All the important things that you really are dying to hear about.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope this podcast helps you out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on. Bring it in, guys. Bring it in.
Don't forget to check out RadioU RIOT on Facebook. And did you mention your quest for 1 million Twitter followers? Did you not put it in there?
I didn't put it in there.
Well, if you want to follow Obi, he's working hard at it.
Right.
Obadiah RadioU on Twitter.
I'm about 995,000 away.
That's why we're working hard on it today.
But I know, that's right. That's why we're putting that up. It's the main thing.
And it's nice how you're trying to do that now that Twitter's not dead, but like Twitter's just...
Well, I feel like now that it's not popular, this is my chance.
That's your chance to sneak in.
This is my chance to sneak in.
So Obadiah RadioU, if you want to follow that, even though it's not included, that's been going around.
All right. Well, hey, you guys have a fantastic whatever today is, and Nikki and I are going to go...
Let's go have a meeting.
Okay, you guys can't hear it, but Chris is behind us setting up something, and he keeps smacking the glass.
The door? Yeah,
and I'm just like, what? What? And he's just back there doing his thing.
You go take a few minutes, okay?
What?
And you guys enjoy the
Don't make it about me.
You guys enjoy the podcast and have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Awful. Terrible. Horrible. Pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the RIOT on RadioU.
You know what? I don't hate myself. I love me. I'm great. I'm fine. But
Are you still laughing at onion stuff?
No. This is something else. I was looking at, okay, have you seen these like wallpaper murals that you can put on a wall? And they're these huge images.
Sure.
So, they come usually in about 3 pieces, and you just put them on the wall, and they make what is in fact like an enormous poster.
Sure.
Or something like that.
But it is put up like wallpaper.
It is. And I've been thinking about putting one in my basement. I thought that would be super cool. I think I have one wall. There's all kinds of crap on the walls down there and stuff because it was an unfinished
basement.
basement.
You mean your movie posters?
No,
They're not crap.
No, I mean like on one wall it has a venting thing because you got to be able to get into the water shutoff valve, and on the other wall there was a pipe there, so like it comes out a little bit. So it would make a ton of sense to put wallpaper there, but I think I have this one space where I could put a huge wallpaper mural and it would be cool. And so I've been looking at a couple of them, and one popped up today, and I was like, oh, that is cool. And the photo they give, like showing you that it's in a room, it's right above a race car bed.
What's that saying to you? What does that say?
And then,
do you have a race car bed there?
I was like, oh, but then it's like, okay, it shows it on the wall where you've got like, look, here's the little chair with that little toy where you stack like the little donuts until you reach the top.
Yeah, the baby one.
Yeah, that's the
stuff.
the kind of room they assume somebody that would buy this. This is obviously the kind of room they have.
This is not the first time that you've been disappointed when you want to buy something online that you feel is being unfairly targeted towards younger people and not you.
It's not that it makes me like sad.
Does it make you want to buy it more or less?
I can't decide. There's just something about it where I'm like, oh.
Are you ashamed or?
Oh, I don't know if I'm ashamed, bothered a little bit. I'm bothered by the fact that, like, I don't like adult things. I don't like man things, and I don't like adult things. I don't like sports. I mean, I kind of like guns, but, like, I don't build stuff. I don't fix stuff. I don't whatever. And I also don't like, I don't know, whatever adults like. I don't like that stuff either. And so
this you like. This is what you're buying.
Stuff for children, the stuff that they put in. Like when I go to the store, I like to go to the kids' aisles and look at like the toys.
Does that say you have an innocence about you? Isn't that refreshing?
I can't grow up.
No, it's not like Peter Pan.
But it's not like that. I don't have any green tights, and I sure as heck can't fly. But it's just that thing where you're like, oh, it hurts a little bit. Oh, it hurts. I went to this thing the other day, and so funny. The best conversation I had was with this kid. I think he was in 5th grade, and we both spent a bunch of time talking about how much we liked Godzilla.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm just like, all the adults are like, I don't know about my 401k, the market, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, that Godzilla's looking sweet, right?
Yeah. You know your audience.
Oh, man.
You know your friends.
It's rough. And this is just an example of, I wasn't trying to be, people were like, oh, I'm so immature. Watch me do something stupid and immature. No, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just like, hey, that's sweet. Oh, and look at the race car bed.
Dad, still get it?
No, I'm not. Oh, I'm not getting this one. I was just looking at it.
Okay.
Because I'm in the market right now. Just shopping.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
I haven't really wanted to talk about it, but I feel like I probably should.
Does it feel like the time's now?
Yeah, because I feel in some ways like, we're all family here, right? Maybe we could crowdsource this a little bit and figure it out. Something has reemerged into just my day-to-day interpersonal interactions, and I didn't realize just how out of place it really is until a few minutes ago. See, I have an inner child. It's a baby, and it cries all the time. And so this morning I was like, shut up, baby. And I told it that I would get it a soda if it would shut up, and we went to the gym.
Yeah.
It whined the whole time, but it did get its soda. And I stopped to get a soda.
From its sippy cup?
Yeah. And I stopped there, and they were out of ice. And I was like, oh, my gosh. So I went in and got some soda, and the guy was just like, oh, man, it's the worst, right? Don't worry about it. Like, it's on the house.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I got a free soda. So you know what I did?
You got a bigger one?
No. It's so much worse than that. Like, I just leaned over and gave him a high five.
Did you? Well, that was nice.
I was just like, dude, thank you so much. High five. And that's the problematic interpersonal expression that's beginning to reemerge. I am starting to give people a high five, and I don't know where that came from or why suddenly I'm walking around doing that again.
Sure.
Like, hey, man.
High five.
Yeah.
Was he did he think it was awkward, or was he okay with it?
You know what's funny is that I felt like he thought it was weird, but he liked it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I was like, yeah.
Well, his inner kid was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. High five.
Soda.
Woo. Yeah.
He was having a good time.
High-fiving the soda.
Yeah.
Sunny D, baby.
He was having a good time with it.
Right. But I'm just a little concerned. And just on a purely psychological level, I would like to know where the high five has gone and from where it has returned and why it's chosen now.
Did you see it in a movie or something? Did it come back in a TV show?
Did it? Maybe. I just know that I didn't think to myself, I really need to express my gratitude to this person in a way that is both socially acceptable and fiscally responsible. No, I just leaned out, gave him a high five, and got in the car and was like, Why did you give that man a high five?
Hey, that might have been all that man needed today.
Maybe it
He
was.
needed a high five.
Maybe it was. Maybe I needed it.
Yes, that could be it. There's nothing wrong with it.
I agree with you.
Right place at the right time. You just have to make sure it's the right time.
Right. So now that I've become aware of the behavior, I'm going to be a mess all day. Because one, I'm going to be tempted to over high five, and then I'm going to overthink
About
high
the
five.
high five.
It's
become a thing now.
It's a bad place to start, but it's the only place I have.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So, okay, I want to know, did you go to the gym this morning?
I did.
I want to get a gym report out of you.
Sure.
Because what Nikki and I have noticed is I'm noticing that working out in the morning really not as popular as it was for a while. And my theory has been, see, Nikki now goes to the rival dojo across the street.
I do.
And so I have noticed that since the rival dojo opened over there, my gym has really emptied out.
Sure.
At least that's my theory.
Yeah.
But we both had empty gym syndrome yesterday. There was like nobody there.
On the Monday, and I told Obi, I was like, oh, it really wasn't as crowded as I thought. But that was my first Monday going in before the show, so early in the morning. And I am happy to report that we're back in business.
We're back to people just everywhere.
Crowded today.
So do you think that people just don't go to the gym on Monday?
Probably so.
But isn't that the day you should go? Isn't that the day that you're going to be?
We can't tell. The gym can't tell them what to do.
Okay.
They didn't want to go on a Monday.
Because my thought is that's probably the point at which you're most rested. And like that's the way to start your week off on the right foot.
But if you also think that maybe on that Monday morning, your weekend hasn't ended yet until you go to work or class.
Okay, sure.
So you're still on weekend time and you don't need to go.
See, I start getting depressed about the week Sunday at about 2.
2 afternoon?
Yeah. Because it's that moment where all of a sudden I'm approaching the time of day that I would normally get home from work.
Sure.
And I begin to realize, oh, I have to go to work tomorrow.
It starts to set in.
Yeah.
No, it was really crowded. My gym gets really crowded at 5:30. Like you can see.
Yeah.
That's just about the time I'm done, and it's a lot of people coming in.
I was curious. My gym today, more people there.
I think your gym's losing people.
I think you're right, but I was in the squat rack, and man, there's nothing quite like, there's only one actual squat rack in the gym I'm in, and you can always tell somebody they're like, literally all the way across the room, and they look at you, and it's just like, oh, they want the squat rack.
Oh, they're waiting.
I understand that when they get in here, they're going to take their good, sweet time, but I need to hurry up for them.
You know what you could do?
Shut my inner baby up and give it a...
Come on over. Come on over to our dojo.
Oh, you know what, Nikki? I'm a natural-born cobra.
I know you are. You're over there.
This is the way it is.
Yeah, I think Monday's just a less busy day.
Sure, the riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on RadioU.
Yesterday, the people at Apple decided that they don't have enough of your money.
And how can they get more of your money?
So they came up with a way to get more, and that way is really, now they're going to have a lot of flashy names, and we're going to talk about the names. But the most important thing to remember is subscription.
That's what you're going to hear a lot.
That's the answer.
So they did their Showtime event, which was yesterday.
And let's run it down here. They unveiled Apple Plus, which will be their video subscription service. Okay. Now, that's the one that is their original content, programming, whatever. No price was discussed.
But they said sometime probably in the fall. And
Sometime
it
in the
seems
fall.
like they were talking rumors of it being free beforehand, but it does seem like it is a subscription service.
I imagine that it will not be free, but I'll bet you they are in the game of undercutting
Everybody else?
other people's subscription services. Now, Nikki and I can't help but point out that Apple Plus sounds an awful lot like
Disney
Plus,
which is the new one. So everything now has to have a plus next to it.
and be a subscription.
That's the code. That's the sign for subscription.
Plus is code for monthly fee.
Yes, it is.
So there's that. They had Steven Spielberg there yesterday. I guess he's doing an Amazing Stories reboot, which was a show he had in the 80s. And then they had a couple other people that showed up. There will also be something they're launching called Apple TV Channels, which will enable you to purchase individual channels or bundles of channels. It will also kind of directly tie in with if you basically want to buy cable. So DirecTV, Spectrum, PlayStation Now, and a couple of others, you can basically buy cable from them, and it integrates with your Apple TV as a set-top box.
Yeah.
They basically already have that. That's what I did with DirecTV, and while I don't want to, shill for anybody's service, DirecTV with an Apple TV was actually very cool. The way it integrated with the Apple TV app, I genuinely liked it. I just didn't like how they raised the price every other month until it was $100 billion a month.
So going back to the Apple TV Plus, though, just as a heads up.
No, we're over that.
Well, I just wanted to tell you because
okay, what do you got?
Apple TV Plus will be an app. And so that app will be available, yes, on your Apple products, but it'll also be on various TVs, like already loaded on it, and then Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
Okay, so it will.
Yes.
I actually missed that.
Yeah, it's think of it like, okay, Netflix is its own, so Apple TV Plus will be its own dedicated sort of entertainment service.
Other things they unveiled yesterday was Apple Arcade, which will be a gaming service, a monthly subscription.
Oh, have we heard all this before?
That will allow you to play games. But I thought was interesting. It's not just going to be on your iPhone or iPad, but that will also be on the Apple TV.
But this will not be on Android
or
PC.
That's just an Apple product thing.
And the Apple Arcade, the plus with that one is they did say, compared to the Google one that was just talked about, these games will be available offline.
Right. The other things they announced was Apple News, which will be $9.99 per month. It's basically a news/magazine subscription service. And I know everybody rolled their eyes, but I am a little embarrassed to say that I'm interested in. Yes, I am.
$10 a month?
For this show.
Really?
Yes, I am. Because
it's all magazine-driven stuff.
Not all of it is.
Outside of the Wall Street Journal and the LA Times, Los Angeles Times.
Let me put it to you this way. 30 days for free. I'm curious about it because I've talked on the show about the frustration I have with news sources at times. This will be a curated news source I pay for. Maybe. It's kind of part of the job. And then last but not least, Nikki, I knew they'd have you on this. They got you.
I don't know if I would do it.
You are. It's done.
I have a Costco card, so my rewards come through there. But they did talk about the Apple card. For all these monthly subscriptions, Apple is so smart. It's like, why don't we just have the one where we're having the credit card?
Well, I haven't read a lot of analysis about it. But yes, Apple's launching a credit card. And here's what I don't know is, are they financing it themselves? Or are they partnering with a bank?
I haven't seen the bank behind it, so I don't think it's a visible one.
Apple's a huge company, and if you think about it, for them to jump from technology company to bank makes a ton of sense because they got all kinds of money already.
Amazon's been talking about starting their own for quite some time. So Apple, it makes sense too. So basically, they're pushing Apple Card as a cashback card. So you get 2% cash back every day. So like with our Costco one, you get it once a year. So this would be something you could actually get into every day that if you wanted it. And then you get 3% on purchases at Apple stores or Apple events.
Perfect.
So there'll be no late fees, over the limit fees, or international fees. And there'll be a physical card. So
right.
It's not just like on your phone.
So, hey, everybody. You want to get a little farther into the Apple store?
Apple World, they took care of that yesterday. So that's most of the details from the Apple event that they had.
You could be learning jiu-jitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on RadioU.
If you have something that's really bothering you, or you see somebody making a huge mistake.
Sure.
Do you go talk to them about it, or do you just stay out of their way?
Most of the time, I'd probably just stay out of their way.
Okay. So then we'll just avoid McDonald's then?
Is that the mistake?
Just don't go there?
Just don't go there.
Don't you feel like we
Rather not bring it up.
Don't you feel like we owe it to Ronald to sit him down and talk about what he's doing?
No, because I think these look...
What if we did it together?
I don't think these look like a mistake. I think these look pretty good.
So it sounds like I need to have a conversation with you
two people
and Ronald.
Maybe at the same time. But these aren't here in the United States, so I don't think it really
that makes it better?
It's not something we need to fight about quite yet.
So you fly to Amsterdam, make a bunch of mistakes, and fly back, and it's okay
it's
because it was
fine.
In another country?
So McDonald's, I shared with Obi, they're doing a vegetarian take on the Chicken McNugget.
Yes.
Minus the chicken, and this is for sale in Norway.
Mm-hmm. Norway, which I guess that makes it... There's a your way, right away joke about Norway.
Are you going to try to figure it out or skip it?
I'm just going to skip it.
So they're Let's see. They're vegetarian.
Whose way?
There's vegetarian nuggets. So it's got chickpea. This is all the stuff you like, by the way. Chickpeas, carrots, potatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, corn, and onion. And it's got like a rice coating on the outside. So it's a vegetarian McNugget.
That's a terrible thing.
I think it sounds good.
It's a terrible thing.
They're not being called vegan because they use the same fryer oil and they have a chance to possibly have cheese in them. So it is a vegetarian thing.
Nikki, I just want you to know
what
right now.
Is that a mistake?
That if you're not going vegan, what's the point in even being vegetarian?
If
you're going to fry it in the same oil that you fry the chicken McNugget in,
I don't think it's that
give me
same.
the chicken McNugget.
No, I don't think it's that same oil. I think it's the oil that the fries are done in. And so different, I don't know what. There's a chance for it to have cheese in it, is what they're saying.
Cross-contamination with cheese.
Yes, cross-contamination with cheese.
I know it's a thing, okay?
It is. People,
I get it.
People don't like that, so they don't call it that. It's better for a company to call it vegetarian if they can't be 100% positive that every place that makes it would do it the vegan way.
Nikki, are you looking at the photo right now?
I am. Okay. I'm looking at it.
Tell me, okay, so you've got your...
It looks crispy. I like the veggies in it. It looks really good.
They have cut a cross-section so you can see what's inside. Tell me that doesn't look like throwing up.
It does not. It looks like carrots and broccoli.
You ate corn and threw it up. That's what it looks like right there.
I think it looks good. So again, not in the United States. It's in Norway for McDonald's.
Man, get them on the phone. Like, you know what? I'll pay for the international call. Or we can Skype it if we need to. But I got to sit down and talk with them. They're making a huge mistake. They're damaging the brand, guys.
So? Is that why they wouldn't even bother testing it here?
That's exactly right. Because there's enough people like me that care about them that they would have gone in there and just been like, I need to see the manager. I need to talk.
Here in the United States, we need more nuggets, bigger boxes of it. That's better sauces. That's what they're focusing on for this market. Over there, though, they can test these sort of things.
Nikki, you're half right. They've already made the perfect sauce.
There you have.
The sweet and sour sauce. I mean, they keep trying to diversify.
Man, if anybody else tried the hot mustard, that's a really good sauce.
You know what? Like, the hot mustard is just like, look at me. I'm the hot mustard. I can't just be mustard. I'm hot.
You know what sounds really good with the hot mustard?
A side of pretentiousness.
These vegetarian nuggets.
No!
From Norway.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yum.
You know what, Nikki? I love you enough to tell you the truth. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
It's wrong.
Why can't we have both?
We can't.
We can have both nuggets.
I don't want any cross-contamination from your vegetables.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's The Riot on RadioU.
Of course, here come the Nugget Defenders.
Just like different things.
The NDB, the Nugget Defender Brigade.
That is not what these text messages are. I think they're just supportive of a different nugget, and we can have both.
I think I like the NDF better, the Nugget Defense Force.
That's better, much better.
Yep, there they are. Stacy says those nuggets. And we're talking about McDonald's in Norway has launched a vegetarian McNugget, which is a huge mistake.
It's got cauliflower, broccoli,
Stop
corn.
there. Stop. No.
It's just got all the veggies you could want.
Gross. And so Stacy says those nuggets could be a game changer for people who are gluten-free. If they use a rice coating and don't use any flour, I could finally indulge in those sweet, sweet nugs. Stacy, you're buying a lie right now. Okay, this is what they do to you.
They want you to.
They want you to be like, those look just like chicken McNuggets. And then as you're trying to choke them down, you're like, they taste just like them. They're so good. Gosh.
Could be because I'm really into, like the cauliflower alternative. So instead of like a French fry, you have the cauliflower or the broccoli fry. Yeah. And this is a lot like that.
Let me tell you
Crispy on the outside, veggies on the inside.
Last night, dining with friends, one of them is gluten-free. And we cooked. And so she's like, yeah, I brought my own. It's this cauliflower gnocchi.
Yeah.
And so,
from Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you like it?
It tastes like cauliflower.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
no,
it does.
It's practically pasta.
It stinks like cauliflower. It tastes like cauliflower.
You're just judging it.
It's cauliflower.
No, and you got to put some sauce on it.
It's hilarious. They're like, it's cauliflower gnocchi. And it's like, look, just because you're calling it something else doesn't mean it is something else. This is like giving a child a chicken nugget dinosaur and telling them they're eating dinosaur. The kid's dumb enough to believe it because it's shaped that way.
It's just
this
veggies.
is just the adult version of that. You're assuming that I'm dumb enough to believe this is gnocchi when it's just mashed up cauliflower.
And that's how it goes.
I'm sorry, I just got real for a minute.
Yes, it did.
It just got
that's
real.
where I feel a passion about that.
Well, you know what, Nikki? I don't like to be lied to.
You're not being lied to. You know what it is. They put it in the title.
Don't call it a nugget.
It's not
all
a
right?
nugget.
A McNugget. Because a McNugget is one thing. It is only one thing.
All right, well, Norway is off the travel list because
All right.
whenever you go out of the country, you still undoubtedly stop by a McDonald's because it's comforting.
I can't spend all that time with those pretentious liars. Keith, on the other hand, says everything from McDonald's is pretty much crap, he says, while eating a sausage McMuffin.
Keith's got it right there.
No, dude, I love McDonald's food, just not these liar McNuggets.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on RadioU.
It's called Klein-Levin syndrome, and it's something I feel like I have, but I don't, and that's the problem. It would be really exciting if you could go and get diagnosed at least, and so that way you could be like, I have a condition.
How do you know if you've not gone to try?
Well, because I just don't think I do. It's some people call it Sleeping Beauty syndrome. Technically, Klein-Levin.
You do not have that.
See,
you do not have that.
Do you see the doubt?
That's
do you
the
see
one
the
where
doubt?
you sleep all the time.
Yeah,
that's not what you have.
Then what do I have? What is
tired.
it, Nikki?
You're just tired, but you don't need to you can't help yourself.
You're telling me that it's because of the beauty part, huh? I can't be Sleeping Beauty because I'm too ugly for that.
That's just the name of it.
You
It doesn't mean
Sleeping
anything.
Ugly syndrome is what you got.
You don't have this. But yes, it is something. And it's serious for people that have it.
I'm telling you right now, I could lay down on this floor and go to sleep.
We all could. We just don't. And that means you don't have this.
No, that's why.
If you have it, you actually cannot stop yourself.
You know what? I feel like I can't stop myself.
Here he goes. He's falling over.
I feel like I can't.
You cannot have this.
Oh, man.
You don't.
I feel like if I could get a syndrome, then I could be like, well, it's medical. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Dude, if I start saying it's medical, you got to do whatever I want.
Yeah, right. That's true.
You have to accommodate
I got to be okay
me.
with it and
you have to be
accommodate
like, it's fine. Just lay in that bed. We'll put the mic by your mouth. And if you have anything to say, just speak up. Otherwise, the show just goes on.
I can't question him at all.
That's right. You can't because medical. Because Sleeping Ugly syndrome.
That's not what you have, but what about it?
I'm just reading up on it. Here's another person that has it. Her name is Rhoda. She was a psychology student. She ended up having to drop out of school because she didn't show up for her exam.
You can't do your classes. I saw let's just say it, a YouTube video about it once. I mean, I was going to say like a documentary, but in our world, that's just a YouTube video.
I'm sure.
I watched a 10-minute YouTube video about it.
There's lots of great documentaries on YouTube, Nikki.
That's right.
I've watched a few myself.
I just didn't want it to feel like it was bigger than what it was.
Okay.
But it was sad because you have a hard time with relationships and, your friends and your family because you just don't know when you'll be asleep.
The other thing about it is that they've got video of her apparently like she just eats in her sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not like asleep. It's almost like your twilight. You're just moving in between. Mm-hmm. So you can still do things. You just don't remember any of it.
Okay, so here's what I got for you. Here's how we'll find out if you
have it.
I probably have it. Here's what we got it.
You have your buzzer? Because I don't think you have it.
You know what? I'm tired of Nikki, are you a medical professional?
Just play one on the radio.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. One, you can sleep up to 20 hours a day.
Who can't? I mean, we all can. We all could if we just given the chance.
It can produce changes in behavior and confusion. You should see me in meetings. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. I pretend like I'm following along, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening. This disorder can affect anyone, but teenage boys develop the condition more than any other group. I was a teenage boy.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Still act like one.
He would. Hurtful things, Nikki.
Sorry.
Do you have hurtful mouth syndrome?
HMS.
I think we can diagnose somebody with that right now. Anybody want to talk about it?
I learned it from you.
People with KLS may not experience the symptoms every day, but they can last a few days, weeks, or months. Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Have that time where I'm like, I'm so tired I could sleep 20 hours a day? Yep. That's during the week.
So
it has a tendency to lift on the weekends.
It's only during the work week.
You can also have disorientation. Yes. Irritability. Yes. Childish behavior.
Yes.
And increased appetite.
That it may be actually you could. There might be something when you spell it out like that.
Who's got the disease? It's me. It's medical. Now bring in the bed and put the mic by my mouth. And you still have to pay me all the money.
I want this to be true. I don't want to have to be okay with all that. I mean, I would be, but I just don't have to.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
You know, one of the things out there that you've got to be on the lookout for is sympathy vomiting. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity presented to you for a good sympathy vomit. I can remember very clearly. I can't remember how old we were, but my stepbrother, he went through this period of time where he was just like throwing up all the time.
He was sick all the time?
Well, it wasn't like he was sick. He would like sit down and eat and then throw up and then be like, I feel better, and then eat more.
Maybe he ate too fast.
Something that like something stupid that a boy would do. Like as a kid, like I ate so much food. You're like, do you have an eating disorder? No, I just ate a bunch and jumped up and down while I was watching TV.
So he would throw up a lot?
Yeah, and I can remember I went in to check on him and I was like, whoa! And I had to run out of the room because I almost threw up. And that is when I learned about sympathy vomiting.
It's a real thing.
Oh, it's absolutely real. And it is the official reason that people are giving in Forsyth County, North Carolina, where they recently had over 24 fifth graders throwing up at school.
Oh, what was the initial reason for what was wrong?
They have 3 reasons: fruit-flavored concentrate, spicy food, and sympathy vomiting.
So someone couldn't handle it, and then it started off a chain reaction.
Chain reaction.
Can you imagine being the person cleaning up that day?
So I was like, oh my God, oh my God, ah! And it was just everywhere.
Too much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor kids.
I love the idea of what got you? Fruit-flavored concentrate and spicy food. So they had to go in. I mean, if you have 24 people vomiting in one small area, it's like, all right, something's wrong. Shut down the school. Let's get everybody out. And they went in looking for both chemical and infectious agents.
And then they just realized it wasn't. It was just people were throwing up because they saw someone else throw up.
So I love this so much. The people who got sick had gotten spicy chips that day.
How spicy were they?
Well, think about
selling spicy chips.
Think about what they did. They ate all the spicy chips. Then they were so spicy, they were drinking tons of the fruit-flavored concentrate.
And then it just became too much for their stomach.
They also say, and I quote, health officials say the students also practice poor hygiene by sharing the food and liquid, the latter of which they drank with their hands. What?
It was so hot, they put it in their hand and were drinking from it?
It says the latter of which they drank from their hands,
the juice,
lunch trays, and ill-advised conduits.
This does sound like a group of boys. So what are they drinking out of?
I don't know.
Shoes?
And where did they get the concentrate? And they're pouring it on trays and drinking it out of the tray? What are they talking about?
Isn't the concentrate just juice? Or are they just not calling it what it is?
Well, Nikki, you're not supposed to drink the concentrate. You're supposed to dilute it in water.
Yeah, but maybe that's not what they do anymore.
Sometimes you need juice that's a harder juice.
Yeah, that's like
more intense.
Our version of energy drinks. That's what they're giving kids. In schools, you just don't know it.
I just know that more than 2 dozen people.
Derek texted, and this is right, too. I feel this, too. What kind of school's serving fruit-flavored concentrate and spicy food? They're not doing that. They're not serving spicy food in school. You never had that. You had the bland pizza, or you had the weird hamburger thing.
Well, the thing is, though, someone could have brought it from home. So it could be like somebody brought in these chips. They're like, dude, they're so spicy. You could never eat these. That sounds right.
More reasonable.
So then they're passing the chips around. They're like,
here, I also brought fruit concentrate today.
Lunch lady, I need the fruit concentrate now.
And they didn't have time to dilute it and make it into the juice, and they just gave it to them to drink.
I just want to know, if you sympathy vomited, but you didn't have the spicy stuff, are you embarrassed right now?
No, because you still got probably able to go home.
Well, I mean, that's something, right?
That was worth a vomit.
That was like a couple weeks ago. Somebody texted at us and said they drank, what was it, Ipecac, like him and a bunch of friends in order to go home.
Oh, when he was younger in school.
But they drank too much, and so they were throwing up all night.
Yeah, got to know the balance. Got to know the right amount.
Oh, Kyle says that his school had spicy chicken sandwiches. So maybe somebody just got a little too crazy with the spice.
Could be. Still don't know about this.
Just see one lunch lady in the back that can't stop laughing.
It's the Wendy's person. Spicy chicken day.
No. You go ahead. Here, have another one. They're all on me. The lunch lady.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
I have a lot of problems. I do. And one of those is that I believe we covered it earlier. My inner child is a baby. And
your inner voice?
It
or what you mean by
screams all the time. Yeah. And so this morning I fed it a soda. And I'm a little concerned about where it's going today, because I'm reading the story of Christopher of Kahului, Hawaii.
Yeah.
He was just, first off, he spent 7 days in jail. While he was in jail, and this never occurred to me, no soda.
Well, do you get soda in jail, or is it just generic soda?
Well, you probably have to, you can probably buy it at the canteen or whatever.
I've never been in jail, so I don't know. Do you get water? Do you get...
Oh, you mean, what do you get to drink in jail?
Juice? Yeah. Do you get Kool-Aid? Do you get...
I want you to know that I didn't think about it until just now.
Sure. So, I don't know if you get, is Pepsi or Coke a choice for when you're there?
It's the choice of a new generation.
I knew the second I said that, that's what I would get. I did. So I just didn't know what you get. What's the meal plan?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Because I don't think you really get, choices.
You better not throw a fit.
Because you get what you get. You're in jail. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're right.
I don't know. But he said after 7 days without Pepsi, as he was sitting in there in the jail, he feels like he's settled down and he gets it now.
So the judge called it the Pepsi deprivation syndrome, said that he realized he'd done wrong. He done really wrong.
He done did wrong.
He done did wrong. So the judge said it was kind of the first time that she'd heard of a soda addiction from someone who spent time in jail. And so he's now on probation for 4 years. So he doesn't have to go to jail any longer.
Right.
But hopefully he's learned to change his ways.
Okay. But did you see that part of his probation is he's not allowed to drink Pepsi? How are you going to track that?
No, I thought it was he could not have Pepsi when he was in jail, and so that's led to it. But I think he can still have it.
I thought his favorite soft drink. No, judge bans Hawaii car thief from having his favorite soft drink for 4 years.
The judge issued the order, so nope. Well, she says Pepsi, but that doesn't mean Coke.
Still have Coke.
You can have Coca-Cola if you want. After he said it was his favorite soft drink, that's when the judge ordered that.
Okay. So,
as a creative sentencing.
You can't track that.
Well, what do you get with your probation officer? Do you get tested?
Yeah. Well,
you get drug tested, so
you get Pepsi tested?
I don't know. They know when you're lying.
They know when you're awake. They know if you've been bad or good, so don't drink Pepsi for goodness sake.
Do the cops in his area know to look for him, if he's carrying soda?
I just saw him going into the gas station, see what happens when he comes out.
He says he's not.
Don't worry, it's just a bottle of liquor. It's fine.
During his 7 days following his arrest, he's learned that he needs to comply with the law, and he's not going to steal cars anymore. See, that's an asterisk. That's a warning. He said cars. Anymore, but he didn't say he's not going to steal anything else. He just said he's not going to steal any cars. Now, he doesn't want to be in jail anymore.
All the Captain Morgan you want, but don't you dare drink Pepsi. You hear me?
Not allowed.
You hear me?
So he's also sentenced to 100 hours of community service and a $100 fine.
Come on out back. We'll get a pint of the hooch, but you're not having any Pepsi. So that's his probation.
All right.
No Pepsi.
That's interesting.
You know what that makes me want to do? Reach over here and have some of mine.
You know why? You have the freedom. You didn't break any laws. You're
right, I'm
allowed
not
to have
breaking
your
any
soda.
laws. You know what? This is freedom, man. This is America. Have a soda. Like, be a free citizen.
And remember, your soda was free today.
You know what? You're right. High five, Nikki.
Not high-fiving you today.
The Riot. The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
Radio U.
I feel like we firmly established on this show that Nikki and I are not just fans of, but believers in the chicken finger.
Yes, we are.
We do, don't we?
We love it. I just crispier the better. Chicken finger with the dipping sauce. That's our go-to in most places.
The only thing I'll say is that I don't like going somewhere, with the exception of McDonald's, but that's different, where the chicken finger is obviously just something they dropped out of a bag into the fryer.
You know, that's most places. Even if it's not like a Tyson bag, it's still a bag.
Not all places.
Most.
Not all.
Most.
Not all.
Most.
Do you know what I do?
What?
I ask them, do you guys
they're going to tell you the truth.
Do you guys hand batter the chicken fingers? And if they can't tell me that they hand batter them there at the store, then I don't want them.
You leave?
Well, I don't necessarily leave, but I don't order them.
Okay.
Because especially if I go to where did I go? I don't know. It was a steakhouse. And yes, I know I'm supposed to get steak, but I wanted honey mustard. And so I asked the lady and she was like, oh, honey, we hand battered those. They are so amazing. And I was like, this lady right here gets it.
Well, that's a surprise because most chain restaurants, they're not doing it there.
You're right, which is where we now land on the Dairy Queen discussion.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen has announced that they are doing chicken and waffles.
So if you know KFC has chicken and waffles, that was tested.
I thought we had that.
It was tested, but now it's nationwide.
We should do that.
We should do that, even though KFC's in the same, they're not, it's not fresh.
It's not even chicken.
It's fine. And Dairy Queen is in that same boat with the same type. So they are doing it as well. And just like Papa John's is going to be doing their chicken and waffle pizza later this year.
Oh, that's right.
Dairy Queen is doing their chicken strip basket, but it will include sweet Belgian waffles and some syrup on the side for you to drizzle or dunk.
I don't think they show a photo of it. Now, keep in mind that the photo that they're showing you is their idealized version of this meal. This is the best that this meal could possibly look. The chances of your Dairy Queen meal looking anywhere near as good as what they're showing you in this photo, oh no.
Well, it's hard. It's the
almost
chicken,
non-existent.
You can tell when chicken tenders are like you mentioned.
Out of a bag.
It's flat. There's no definition to it. There's still fried chicken part on the top, but it's a flat fried chicken.
This looks terrible.
I go to Dairy Queen for ice cream. I'm not going for the chicken, but
seriously, the whole thing looks like it just came out of a bag, got dumped into. They didn't even fry it. They put it in an oven, half warmed it up. And even this ramekin of maple syrup, come on, dress it up a little. This is a sad photo. It is, don't you think?
I would. It's pretty sad.
Really look at it.
I know. I
mean, look at it.
I am.
You're telling me what's this going to cost? $6, $7?
You're not supposed to question that.
Not good enough,
so
guys.
So if you're into it, though, Dairy Queen's chicken and waffles will start on April 1st.
No. Yeah.
And it's not a joke, they say. It's actually starting April 1st.
Whether they know it or not, it's a joke. This is not good.
Well, let's try to remind ourselves to go to KFC and at least try theirs.
Oh, well, now that I should be just as skeptical as KFC.
You should.
And yet,
it's all in the same chicken world. That's just how that chicken is.
Well, the Colonel's part of the Pentaveret, so it's probably a brain control thing. I'm willing to give them a pass.
But not Dairy Queen.
Whereas I won't Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
8772-RadioU. Remember, you can always text us at that number. Shannon did and asks, I'm interested in Sekiro and curious on your opinion, yes or no.
And what is Sekiro?
Sekiro is a game that came out, I think it came out last Friday, called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which sucks to be a shadow, I guess, right?
Well, twice dying.
Yeah. It's out on the PlayStation 4. It's out on the PC. It's not out on the Xbox, but I looked at this. It's not a Dark Souls game, but it is that kind of game where it's very, very, very difficult. And I got to tell you, that's all I need to hear.
You don't want difficult?
I'm out. No. Because here's how I feel about it. And I'm only half kidding. Life is already hard enough. I don't need my free time to be hard.
Sure.
And like if I'm going to do something hard with my free time, I'm going to build something, fix something, climb something. If I'm going to sit on my couch and put a controller in my hand, let me tell you what that is. That is me relaxing, and the last thing I need is something to make me mad while I'm trying to relax.
Really good, though.
Oh, no, it's
that
super
art style
cool looking.
Super nice.
Yeah, it's a kind of, like medieval Japan kind of art. Like, it looks super cool. Everybody's talking about what a great looking game it is.
Well, Shannon, if you play it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think about it. But I'm not even embarrassed about the fact that I'm too wimpy for that. Never played a Dark Souls game. Actually, that's not true. I played Dark Souls 3 for about 10 minutes, and I was like, what am I doing?
He's a bright soul. He doesn't want to play it.
I don't need that noise in my life right now. I did pick up, I'm still playing The Division 2, which I've done 2 different Obadiah plays on that. You can see those in our YouTube channel. You can also catch them on our Facebook page. And then I picked up over the weekend the season pass for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And so there's a bunch of content there that I haven't gotten into yet, but I got that all downloaded over the weekend, so I'll probably check that out a little bit. But haven't had anything I've really wanted to stream.
Doesn't seem like there's been anything bigger, but
I mean,
it happens.
Sekiro would probably be a good candidate for that, but guess who doesn't want to?
It's a pass. That's fine.
But Obadiah, you need to create content. Well, what is this?
Not if it's too hard.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't need that kind of frustration in my life, guys. So, no, I'm passing on that one. But if anybody is playing and you want to tell me how you're doing, remember, anytime you want to say what's up, talk to Nikki and I about whatever. It can be nerdy. It doesn't have to be. All right? You can text us.
8772 RadioU, or Obi mentioned our YouTube channel. That's at RadioU Riot if you subscribe there. And RadioU Riot on our Facebook page, too, if you follow us.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on RadioU.
All right, Nikki. Do you want to talk cars or beer spa?
The spa. Even though it's a beer spa, let's talk spa.
Okay. Well, here it is. It's called a beer spa. You go in and think hot tub, but it's full of beer.
I've seen beer spas and wine ones and like chocolate ones, chocolate spas.
Yeah, I've seen those. So they say apparently beer spas have been, and this is a quote from WGN in Chicago.
Take it for what it is.
They say the beer spas have been hugely popular in Europe for years.
Yes, that's where I've read about them before.
But they haven't in the United States. And so there is someone in Chicago, there's a business there, that is opening the Piva Beer Spa.
You're not supposed to drink the spa water. Like, you're not supposed to drink the beer.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know they're not filling it up with fresh beer every time you get in it.
Do they treat it like water? Is it chemically treated to last longer, or are they in working in partnership with some restaurant, and anytime there's beer left over in the glass, does it go down the tube?
Right,
and the tube goes to the spa?
Are you even remotely familiar with the concept of backwash?
Yeah, it just all goes in there. And then the beer gets treated somehow.
So you're telling me
and then
if
that's
I can't...
the spa beer water.
I come by your house, you're enjoying a nice big hot bath with jets, and I spit in it, and you're fine with it.
I'm not fine with it.
I spit and pour beer in it.
And
you're like... Because, I mean, I got to tell you...
I'm at the spa.
I spit and pour beer in your spa water, and you're I love it. I feel so refreshed and exfoliated.
I'm not okay with that, but I could see that being a way that they make that work.
Well, you know what? That's soaking.
Do they say the hops or something is good for you? Or
here's what it says: soaking in a tub of warm beer has proven, by who we don't know, to be good for your skin and soothing for your body.
All right,
it's time to soothe that body, Nikki. Come on.
I'll probably pass on it, but
you would.
I would just go to a normal spa.
You're so mainstream, Nikki.
I know, right?
When are you going to start beer spying?
I'm not as cool. I just don't have the drive for that one.
And I'll tell you right now, I only beer spa in a local IPA. I'm not.
So you could really go far with that one.
What do you think? I'm just going to jump in a tub with some PBR? Come on. This skin does not soak in PBR.
Well. Correct. And you want to be in the right tub.
So, I don't know. Here you go. It seems like if you really look at the trajectory of humanity, we can't just enjoy food as food. All right? We're like, man, this chocolate's so good. I want to smear it all over my body.
Done.
See?
Let's do the chocolate spa.
I love beer so much. I want to pour it all over my body.
That's how the initial idea starts. Or maybe back when, in European times and stuff, way back, when water was dangerous and they drank beer like water. That was just a bath.
You know what? I just got to tell you right now, I think that's something the beer lobby invented. They're like, oh, yeah.
They say that. Wine and beer.
They couldn't drink water, so you just drank beer all the time.
But
that's why I'm European.
That was the start of the beer and the wine spas. Because it was just what they used. Fill the tub up. Okay, I'll go get the beer.
And what? I'm spilling beer in here, but you have to. And that's when we began to notice that people who would bathe after I'd spilled my beer in their bath had softer skin. So then we started doing it on purpose.
Maybe that's it.
I don't think that's how it started.
You sure?
I think someone had a few too many, and they were like, I just want to cover my whole body in beer.
Like, pour it in. Okay, pour it in.
Go ahead.
Put it around.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so it passed and it's in Chicago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, though I'm sure that with a bathtub and some friends, you could probably make your own.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
I want to smear it all over my body.